Hey guys, non-MAGA Mike here again. Still have some more stuff that I want to untangle and some some new stuff that's going on. Obviously, this guy can't stop just bombarding everybody with fake information and calling the real information fake. That's all he's doing. It's all he's doing. He's taking this fake information, this fake I hate fake news, but fake information and saying it like it's truth and selling it like a salesman, and in the same breath, or in the next breath anyway, he'll say what is actually happening, the real news, the real information rather, he'll call that fake. He'll call that fake news, this fucking clown. So I'm gonna try to stay calm. I want to get some stuff untangled. I'm hoping to get to a point where by, like, January 20th, he can I can sort of focus in on a couple different things every time I record. And again, this is really, for me, it helps me with try to process all of this. There's like nobody down here that I can speak with about this, at least that I've found yet. And so, trying not to alienate myself down here. So I'm gonna talk to you guys. Anyway, so this whole thing that's going on, Trump coming back into what he likes to call power. It's supposed to be working for the people, but he likes to call it power. So anyway, when he comes back into power and all the little things that go with it, all of the collateral damage and collateral forces that happen along the way, it's what you might say bananas. It's fucking crazy. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, Hegseth is having his hearing today, and that's a joke. Oh my god, I tuned into some of that. That is absolutely so fucking fake. So they rushed his background check, clearly, because they're doing like 3 appointees this week. So again, fire hose of just a bunch of random chaos going on, so you can't really pay attention to what's important along the way. So it's crazy. So Hegseth on having his hearing today. Such softball questions as how many push-ups can you do? What kind of batteries do you put in night goggles? All things. I got a few buddies that also did their service in the National Guard, and they're also heavy drinkers. That if you gave them a big job, they'd promise to stop drinking too. But they know all the answers to all of those questions you just asked that predator. And so I'm thinking maybe we should give them a look. They probably didn't sexually assault anybody, but I guess no guarantees, right? What are we doing? This is absolutely out of control. So the sexual misconduct, the heavy drinking, mismanagement of money for the nonprofits that he was running. He was actually cited for impropriety. One thing to look out for this meathead when he gets into office is that he's going to reduce the roles that women can play in the service. He thinks there's a lot of things they can't do in the service. I would be surprised if he didn't stop enlisting women, altogether. That wouldn't shock me one bit. So again, back to the rushed background checks. He the biggest tell that you can see that they rushed through this is in the background checks. There's no interviews with his ex-wives, any of them. There's no interviews with the woman that accused him of sexual misconduct. There were some interviews from folks that went out with him to the strip clubs. He brought a girl to the strip club. That's the girl he sexually assaulted. He's had to be carried out of bars. This guy is out of his mind. And we're out of our mind for even entertaining this. I can't believe this fake hearing is even happening. No Republicans have the balls to stand up and do what's right. So they're all gonna suck off the government teat once this asshole gets back into the White House. This whole thing is giving me a crisis of faith, and there's so many reasons for that, but the biggest, brightest reason for that is that so many Christians, the Christian right, if you will, are behind him. And that's just, sinful enough. That's sinful enough. That's wrong. But there are actual preachers out there who I'm sure are going to benefit one way or another from a Trump administration, but they're out there pounding their Bibles and saying Trump is God, and Trump, everything Trump does is right, and thank goodness for fucking Trump. I mean, what are we doing, guys? How do we let this happen? How did you let this happen? I mean, I thought I was doing my part by voting and then trying to find folks that I can reason with, and I didn't find many, to be honest with you, and I don't get any of it, none of it. How they can, so to say that, whatever, the 34 convictions and the sexual rape that he committed and was found guilty of, all these, the grab him by the pussy video, that would have been disqualifying DQ enough back in the day when politicians ran and people that knew politics voted. That's the way it was. You can't say something like that. Billy Bush, the interviewer on that bus that day that you couldn't see in that video, was fired. Donald Trump becomes president. Tell me how this happens, folks. This is an absolute broligarchy, all right? Which means the rich in the country will run the country and benefit from the country. He's going to start a war, and I've already mentioned this, but he's going to start a war. It may be as big as World War III. I would actually be surprised if it wasn't, to be honest with you. It's probably going to be World War III. I mean, he's already got alliances that he loves with Putin, and Kim, North Korea. So he, I think he's going to feel empowered to join them in taking over the world. I know, as ridiculous as that sounds, but it's already happened twice before this. So please, it's not that ridiculous. It's certainly on par with something that you should look up on your own. Information, find out backgrounds, find out how that happened. The last one, maybe just that one. Leave the Kaiser alone. Just find out what happened with Hitler's regime. Find out what happened with Mussolini's regime. Find out something, guys. Find out some actual information. So when you say you don't believe, or you think it's political, that he was convicted of 34 counts, he was indicted by a grand jury, tried by a jury of his peers, and found convicted. So if you're saying you don't believe that, then what you're saying is you don't believe in law and order. You don't believe in our justice system at all. And I know Trump wants you to believe that right now, until he gets Cash App in there, and then the whole tone's going to change. But my point is, he's trying to undermine the FBI, the court system, even though he planted so many judges throughout the country, federal judges throughout the country. Most of those judges heard the cases that he tried to overturn the elections. 60 different cases. Most of those folks were judges that he planted there. And he still lost because judges have a job to do. What the fuck, guys? How can you undermine everything? You're going to undermine every single institution this government has. That's criminal. That's absolutely fucking criminal. There is no way this should be happening. But it's happening. It's like watching a fucking movie. And I'm sitting in the theater screaming, don't go into that room, don't go into that room. You guys are going into that room anyway, though. I mean, what the fuck? I know, follow the herd, it's easy. Nobody ever got hurt following the herd. Until now, actually. But, you know, we just need to do a little bit of critical thinking. We just need to be aware and alert. We just need to watch what's happening on the news. The Jack Smith report, at least a portion of it, is coming out. So, I don't know if you guys will think that's political too. I mean, you guys have to fucking believe something other than Trump eventually. This guy is so evil. He's absolutely evil. Him and his oligarchy friends are going to benefit so much from this regime that's not going to last 4 years, guys. Because he's going to start a war. The country's going to have to rally around our new fucking wartime president. Meanwhile, all the government contracts are going to his buddies, the rest of the oligarchy. Everybody's getting fucking rich off this thing, except you and I. Your family's safety net's going to be attacked so they can buy more yachts or save more money for some. I don't know what they're doing with the money. Eventually, they're going to die. We're all going to be in a fucking pine box eventually. What are they doing with all that money? I don't fucking understand it. God knows, if I was fortunate enough to make anywhere close to that, I would have no problem giving my money back to my country in the form of taxes in order to help my country, my fellow man, and the fucking country that allowed me to become rich. I mean, what the fuck? What are we doing? Have we all lost our mind? Anyway, I mean, the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz is going to be on his cabinet. Director of HHS, RFK rather, Jr. Pam Bondi is as corrupt as the day is long. Look it up, guys. Don't just listen to me, please. Look it up. It's bananas that you guys don't just take a second and look it up. You'll take a second and watch a fucking video as long as it's in favor of Trump, but you won't take a second to look up the actual fucking truth. Are you out of your mind? Who raised you? Charles Kushner, not only getting pardoned, but getting a fucking job. During the wartime that's coming up, where all of his buddies make that money from government contracts, including Putin, I'm certain of it. I mean, you guys know that he sent that equipment over to Putin personally, the COVID testing equipment, not just a test that you and I took, but the equipment. He sent several of them over. You know, I think he got the $25,000 a piece. He sent them over to Putin in secret. Look it up, man. Just Google it. Just Google it. During this wartime president situation that he's going to create, so he stays in power. What's his name? J.D. Simmons, his VP, J.D. Vance, is going to become more of an integral part, more of a face, if you will, as time goes on, especially if they notice Trump slipping even more. And you're going to see Junior come into the picture. Just all of a sudden, more Junior on the fucking television. This administration is not going to end here. And it's not even going to end with Trump. MAGA is going to continue on with Vance and Junior. If you guys don't think this is happening, you're outside your mind. Meanwhile, during this wartime presidency issue that he's going to create, He's going to be taken away, and I don't think slowly, but he's going to be taken away your families and your friends' government safety nets that they depend on in order to stay off the fucking streets. So you're going to see the homeless population spike. Guys, this is happening. This is happening. Now, if you don't care, I guess, if you don't care and you want a oligarchy, you want, for some reason, you want the rich to run things because maybe you think they know what they're doing. I don't know why you would do that, but they do know what they're doing, trust me. They're going to take all your money and you're going to be on the street, and it's not going to be funny at all. It's not going to be funny for anybody. No. I mean, he'll try to blame the Dems along the way, and migrants probably too, and teachers. But I think eventually the levee's going to break. Eventually everybody's going to see him exposed. It's going to be too late by then, guys. We have to start doing something now. We have to start mobilizing now. At least do something like this. I mean, get the word out there. And if you're not sure of the word or you don't believe in the word, then look it up, man. Just Google the subject matter. Use any search engine you want. Put the subject matter in. Boom. Pick some sources and read them, plural. Not your websites, not your right-wing stuff. And just because it's not right-wing doesn't mean it's left-wing, guys. I grew up in a world where ABC, NBC, and CBS were your television outlets. That's where you went for your news. We had the pay movie channels and all that shit, but we had to go to those three networks to see the news, and we never doubted it, and we never said that's right wing or that's left wing, or that never came up. This is not politics as usual. There is something happening, guys. Please pay attention. Talk soon.